Look the other way.
So,
There's a kid right there.
just a reminder that we're all in living color here. So, and I think they can pick up the side conversation, so.
It's like the Miranda rights. Anything you say will be used. So everything's live streamed, and recorded, so just gotta keep that in mind with your comment.
Okay, I want to welcome Sue to our meeting here today, and we're always pleased when people from the county come to listen to our deliberations, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. I only make one comment. Yes, it is a tan, and yes, I came back last night because these meetings have to be in person. And yes, I have asked the county executive why this has to be the case for all of us, because it would be so much easier from time to time if we could do something virtually, but according to the rules, we have to be here, to be the quorum, and to vote.
No, Mr. Chairman, there's no rule that says our meeting has to be in New York State. So if you'd like to host us down in Florida, I'm sure the board would consider that.
It was probably only like a 60-degree swing in temperature.
No hesitation. So
It
moved.
was cold yesterday, probably, right? Or no?
No.
No?
Anyways, I'm happy to see everyone this morning.
Morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Mike, I'll sit over here.
All right, we have a moderately long agenda, so we'll move right ahead.
Morning.
Hey, Antoinette, or Amy, would you leave a seat for the?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, we got it.
Trying to see that.
Yeah, we have to go. We'll do that.
It's awkward.
I'm awake now.
No, governance committee first.
All right. So we're going to begin with the governance report. Laura?
Yeah, I would call the governance committee meeting to order. And then it looks like we need a roll call of who's here.
Yeah, please, which is all the board members. All of the board members are on the governance committee as well, so we'll mark your presence accordingly. Chairperson's here, Alan is here, Rich is here. Alan's obviously vacant, absent. Mike and Michael are both here, and Helen and Caitlin and Michael as well are all here. So with that, I'll just take a quick overview. We have 3 resolutions that are draft. They're provided to the governance committee to then provide to the board with their recommendation. This is at the board level also in our bylaws is the annual meeting. And at the annual meeting, we elect officers of the board. The staff has populated a draft resolution in front of you with the current slate of officers. That's what staff started with. Current, obviously, anyone else is, there's no lock on this. We can discuss it if you wish to, but the thought is that those officers, absent something else, someone else wanting to serve in a specific role, would move forward to the board. And then the board would actually be the body to appoint these officers once we go into board session. This is the committee session at this point. So that's the draft resolution before you. Absent any other discussion, the committee would then move and second and provide its recommendation that this resolution be the resolution that the board acts on. Again, it's just a recommendation. So I'll stop talking. If you want if there is discussion, great. If not, then the chair would entertain a motion and a second and vote to recommend to the board that this resolution be presented.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mike?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Mr. Quanti, any further discussion or anything? These lucky individuals, I guess we'll move forward to the
Thank
board.
them for their service.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. So this will be recommended to the board, which we'll talk about again in just a few moments. The next resolution, again, this is draft, is each year under the public authorities law, there's certain policies and procedures that we've already adopted, but we still need to review and then approve on an annual basis. These are all posted online, they're open, they're public. The procurement guidelines basically provide that it has to be competitive when you procure goods and services over a specific amount. The specific amount is $5,000, pretty low number. There's different levels of competition depending on how much the contract is and different approval levels. At 50,000 or above, it comes to the board level. It also requires a formal RFP at 5 to 10 or whatever the numbers are. It requires a certain number of verbal quotes. But in any event, it's laid out, it's public, and that's how we procure goods and services. So that's the procurement guidelines. Property disposition and acquisition, again, the basic guideline is before we acquire or dispose of property, we evaluate it, we appraise it. So that's again, the idea being that we don't want to either sell something for too little or buy something for too much. That's again, these are all public, they're on our website, they are pursuant to the public authorities law. And then investment guidelines. The investment guidelines we have are extremely conservative. There's no equities, it's really collateralized funds, bank accounts or obligations of the United States government or New York State government.
That's a question. Can you invest in New York class, or is that just municipalities? New York class is a higher rated in Muni Trust, but I know municipalities can invest. Do you know if you can? If not, I'll research it.
I don't know that.
Okay,
as I
because it
sit
gives you a
here right
higher
now.
interest rate. I'll look.
Our guidelines are online, but under the public authorities law, we're required to adopt them. They don't mandate what is contained in those guidelines, but like we use what I would call the example for public authorities, extremely conservative. So it's like
Well, we're
banks,
conservative too.
CDs, and I just don't know the answer as to whether that qualifies. I think the words are obligations of New York State. I'm not sure if it's an obligation of municipality. I don't think it gets down to that level, but I'd have to
I'll
look
check.
at the guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah, Amy will look into that and let us.
And Amy, we're CDs, right?
All collateral.
New York class gives you it started a couple of years ago, and I know it's for counties. I don't know if it's for authorities. It's New York State. It gives you a much higher interest rate, which your money is very liquid daily.
I think Dave Riley was gonna send me the information on that when I spoke to him last week.
Okay.
And there's been no major changes in the PAL for 2001, right? It's the
So that's
same.
what I was gonna say, there haven't been any changes in the law relevant to these three policies, so staff has no recommended changes to them. We would just, again, at the board level, assuming the governance committee recommends it, we would bring this to the board for approval. So I would ask for a first,
First,
Rich, second. Ellen, and all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so again, this one will go. And then finally, there's a final resolution. Again, this would be done at the board level. Public authority law requires that each year, the ADO, Authority Budget Office, requires that each year the authority look at its mission statement. We adopted this several years ago. Basically to reaffirm it, approve it, make sure the goals are what you want them to be, and then report the results for the previous calendar year. So that's what you have in front of you there. Again, this is something that will be posted online, and it's part of our annual report to the, what's called PARIS, the Public Authority Reporting and Information System. Again, all publicly accessible, wide open. So absent any questions, I'd ask for a first to recommend that the board adopt this resolution.
So
Second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, so the three resolutions now, as you see them, will be provided to the board, which we're gonna occur right now, once we get out of this meeting. So, subject to anything else, Chair? Okay.
Tom, could you explain in the beginning for the benefit of, yes, this morning, that all the committees of the Alliance, the board as a whole, because the board was so small, and we decided that we weren't gonna try to break this up into ones or twos, we would just bring all the information to the full board. And until it gets too active, that's That's the current policy. So,
So I think we'll need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Motion,
Second.
all in favor?
I-
Okay, you're adjourned. Governance.
and it was also, I pointed out to me that the minutes of the previous meetings